No confessions, questions, we contesting. Fireworks will send a message.
It's your age, but when I am and shit, got a 762 size gate. What's your name on it? Sip this lip in the lotus, it's slippery, spoiled back in time, the village is no Sin City. Kiss the grind, I've been here before. And we back with another one. Airwave New York platforms, airwave.new on Instagram. New year, new me. How we doing today? Hope you're doing great. I am doing well. I know I'm late. Let's not even do that. Let's not even do it, bro. I know I'm late. No, in all seriousness, like, you know, before we get to anything, we hit 1,000 subscribers. 100. And another 0. For me, that means something for real. That means 1,000 people said I like what I'm seeing and I want to see more. That is crazy, man. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. We have hit 1,000 subscribers. These are my favorite albums of 2025, all right? Now, when I say favorite, I really mean favorite, okay? This is not an objective list of what should be considered the best. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm just doing what I personally love the most. So yeah, man, let's get into it. Start off with some honorable mentions. All right, honorable mentions. McKinley Dixon, Magic Alive. That was a great album. That was a really nice listen. I really enjoyed myself. I just need a little more time to sit with it. That's all. Who knows how it'll grow on me. You know, this list changes every single day for me. Like, I can't make up my freaking mind because the albums were really good this year. They were really, really good. Yeah, so that's one. Another one is definitely Rome Streets. I've been replaying a lot of albums that I reacted to, and that was one of those albums that had a lot of punchiness to it, you know, a lot of moments that were really cool. Same for The Conductor, Williams, and Ransom one. I never heard of Ransom before, or I've heard of him from Joe Budden's podcast, but never listened to him before. And he's tough, you know what I'm saying? And The Conductor production, of course, it was going to be good. So that's another honorable mention. I really have fun with that album. Pinball 2. Great album, but I already got a Mike album on the list. Spoiler alert, y'all probably already knew that though. Number 15, Marco Plus, with Marco Plus versus the Underworld. Now, Marco Plus is somebody that I got put on to by my viewer, Icon 2K. I really enjoyed how he rapped, but I also thought that there was some, you know, things that could have been worked on within just, you know, the project itself, because there was some repetition. And with this one, there is repetition too when it comes to that hypothetical adversary thing that I always had, you know, a bit of a gripe with, but there was just more of a concept that I can connect with, because it seems like he's fighting the demons of the industry while trying to make it out of the underworld he's already in. And I feel like there's like a duality of him facing the underworld of his environment and the underworld of trying to become like the next big rapper, you know, not somebody that is like feeding for the fame, but just showing like, yo, I'm really better than these dudes. Like songs like Venting 2 was some of the best rapping I heard this year. Some of the best rapping I heard. So shout out to Marco Plus, man. Keep that hunger up. And he's also one of the rappers I think y'all should look out for in 2026. With number 14, Tyler, the Creator with Don't Tap the Glass. I wasn't expecting Tyler, the Creator to make this list for that album at all. I wasn't expecting it. Because when I first listened to it, I was just so thrown off by it being a dance record. And yeah, so at first I wasn't really vibing with it like that. I didn't dislike it. I was having a good time listening, but I was a bit confused by it. You know, I wasn't really fully invested. But slowly but surely, songs like Sucker Free became more and more on my rotation. Don't Worry, I loved Off Rip, but I loved it even more as time progressed. It gave you a reason to expel a lot of energy, and I think a lot of people needed that for this year, and I think I was one of those people. Like I was moving to this album. I'm not gonna lie, I was moving. So shout out to Tyler, the Creator, man. Shout out to Tyler, the Creator. All right, number 13, DC2 Trill with Drink Babies for Life. Now you probably are like, DC2 Trill. Who is DC2 Trill? Why DC2 Trill? This is my favorite. All right, he's my favorite Concrete member. There's always been something about the way he rapped that really just adhered to my ear. There was just always something about it. And on this one, he does so much with it that it's almost hard for me to not put him on here, just because I replayed it so much. Like every time I'm driving, I'm playing Drink Baby intros. Every time I'm driving, I'm playing I Know You Love Me. Every time I'm driving, I'm playing 9 to 5. I'm playing Phase Chains or whatever that drink was called. Like I'm playing so much of it, and it's not the most, you know, it's not the most like in-depth writing. It's not the craziest concept or anything like that, but it's just real good fun. and enjoyable raps. And I think that he has some of the most, unique sounding rap right now, because I can't really find anybody that makes like an intro like Drake Babies for Life, where it goes from that loud bombastic energy to like a smooth, soulful sounding singer at the end of it, and it still makes sense every time I play it and without throwing me off. He has chopped and screwed things up in here. He has jazz samples, soul samples. He has everything you would think from like a modern day rapper to have. He probably has it on that album, and it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's very very fun, at least for me. So shout out to DC to Trill, Drink Babies for Life. Number 12. Is it BUNII? I pronounced it as Bunny at first because that's how the friend that introduced me to the artist pronounced it, but a commenter said it's a BUNII. Last year, if you were to tell me that I was gonna put a rock slash alternative album on my top 15 albums of the next year, I would have told you, you smoking something? Because I never really, got into it that deeply. I never looked like an entire album front to back this much out of rap in a minute. So when someone, told me to react to this guy, and I did, and I'm hearing songs like their thoughts, I'm like, wait a minute, this is phenomenal. This is great. So my reaction is up. You can see just how surprised I was by it, but I enjoyed every single song on that album, and I'm like replaying it over and over and over again. If you were a fan of, early 2000s cartoons, anime, Disney Channel, and if you remember that like rock aesthetic that they had to a lot of the music behind the soundtracks, in the angsty teen themes within it, you're probably gonna enjoy this album. The songs are really good writing wise. Conceptually, a song like Toothache should not be that good. Where he's making these comparisons to how this girl is a toothache, or songs like Flower Bed, where he's it's not really a song, but it's more of like a short poem slash interlude, or even Gown, where he's kind of conceptualizing, jumping off of the Hollywood sign to make his ex feel guilty while she's with another guy that she's lying to. But there's like themes of, reaching success and still not being happy and stuff like that. It's all really layered, but also very very concise, and I really really enjoy it. Like number 11, I got Jid, What God Does Like Ugly. Jid is someone that I've been listening to since 2017. So it's about to be 10 years next year of me listening to Jid. And all I could do is respect how good he is at the things that he does. The flows, the lyricism, even his singing. He's become such an amazing singer, and we've grown to see him develop in that so well. And with this album, there's so many things that I liked about it. It's just the replayability is what hindered it from being, higher. Conceptually, it's cool, even though I can't fully grasp what he means. Even with the re-listen of God Does Like Ugly. In my opinion, it is about, coming to terms with, the community that you've been raised upon, and realizing that it's not an inherently wrong thing. It's just the reality. I think songs like VCR, songs like Community with Clipse, are what cemented this album for me. Glory was amazing. I even like the Don Toliver song. I don't know if people like that one. I think I saw people not liking it. I enjoyed that one. He really put effort into this, and you can tell. And I respect the hell out of it. If it was just more replayable for me, then I probably would have had to hire, because I honestly don't revisit the entirety of the album as much as I would like to. But I really do enjoy it, and I do think it deserves to be up on this list. They'd be like, what are you doing? I don't care. Number 10 is Swapa. Swapa with Colorblind. Again, if you were to tell me last year that I would have Swapa in my top 10 albums of the year, I would have called you crazy. There's something about the album Colorblind that reminds me of Pierre Bourne, in the way where it's like the way the songs transition to the next really make it replayable as an entire album for me. So many sounds. It's a very foreign sounding album. Like, you don't hear someone using the sounds he's using in this way. You don't hear a Sir Scale in that way. You don't really hear a Alien like that. You don't really hear a Old Habits you know, all in the same song and they all sound cohesive still. Is like, that's hard to do, especially for someone at his level, because he is still an up and comer. I feel like he's done so much with this album. It's very experimental. It puts you in these, you know, serene places at times, but it also puts you in these really wild, chaotic points, but it still all somehow fits within the track so well. It's not the most, you know, lyrically dense, you know, it's not lyrical at all, actually. It's also not really traditional with the song structures either. It's different. It is different. It's a good different, at least for me. At number 9, I got From the Private Collection of Saba and No ID. This album was phenomenal. I reacted to it a few months back, and when I finally listened to it, I rethought things like, why don't I listen to Saba more? Because, you know, I've always been into his music. I've been listening to him since probably 2016. And then I realized it's because of how much quality and how much effort is put into it. You don't want to just listen to it passively, you know, kind of similar to when you listen to a Kendrick. Um, and I feel like in this album, I got a good balance of both, where I'm listening to it passively, but still getting the content I need. Like, for example, the song like She Called It, pistol pop, gunshot, today I pray for you. It's so catchy, but it's so real. That is a really enjoyable song, but it's got real content in there. It's a good balancing act that he plays with certain songs like that. Songs like Head Rap, you know, where it's similar to I Killed You by Tyler the Creator, similar to Beauty Supply by No Name. Loving His Black Hair, you know. It's stuff like that that really makes this more replayable for me, and why I'm able to even have it on my list. Because it didn't have that kind of essence to it and compliments to the quality, it probably wouldn't have been on my list. Because that's just one aspect of it. The best aspect of this is definitely the chemistry he has with No ID. You know, No ID has given him the perfect backdrop to do the things he's doing. And I think a great example of that is How to Impress God. You feel the weight of what he's saying, not just from what he's saying, but from the production being so heavy and being rooted in stakes. Like you could like feel high stakes within the production, and that's not easy to do. So number 8, we got MAVI with Pilot. This one was a huge shocker to me. I'm not gonna lie, because it just came out. Like, why is it already so replayable and you know? And the thing about this album is that it's not even supposed to be like its own standalone thing. It's supposed to be a preview to like his full album that comes after it, but I don't know when that's coming out. I think this is the album where he finally like perfected his flow. Like, he's always had an amazing flow, but I feel like it's perfected on something like this, with songs like Typewriter, songs like Triple Nickel, and I think personally like his best like consistent flow was Denise Murrell.
Heaven, I'm going with prayers alone. Religion, a weapon, I'm passing pad to pass the pocket, blast the rocket, mastermind, the mag, I pop it, so they gotta be mad.
All right, this top 7 is getting a little spooky, but you know what I'm saying. Here we go. At my number 7, I got Freddie, Gibbs, and the Alchemist. Yes, I do, with Alfredo 2. Alfredo 2 is such a fun listen. Now, I will admit, there was a point in time where it wasn't in my rotation as much. It was like really, really slipping out because there was so much other stuff that was releasing that was really good. But when I slowly but surely got my ear back to it, I'm like, wait a minute, this is actually one of the best albums of the year. Like, does that take lyrically? I don't think Freddie is that crazy, but when he's able to accompany it with such a rapid, nonstop flow and make good song structures with it, it's kind of hard to deny it, you know? So, and then the features were so great. Like Anderson .Paak, Jid. I still can't tell which one I think has the better feature, because it depends on what you prioritize more, like a good song structure and then hook, or an amazing verse and performance. Because Jid has something crazy going on Gold Feet. Like, what? Yeah, Freddie Gibbs with Alfredo too. Amazing. Let's go to number 6. Should I tell them? They're about to be mad. I don't care. For number 6, I have I Am Music by Playboi Carti. Now, I Am Music? You have I Am Music by Playboi Carti? Are you serious? You have I Am Music? You put I Am Music over all of them? Yes, I put I Am Music over all of them. I did. I Am Music is not a perfect album. I know it's no lyricism on there. I know it's a lot of bloat. You know, you can even say that it's overhyped and the wait wasn't worth it. But I cannot lie to you, for someone to put out 30 songs and me enjoy the amount of songs I enjoyed from it, it's not an easy thing to do. And when it first came out, I did think it was album of the year. Now, if I'm being real, I had to place this album high because of the replay value. Like, this album is not for everybody, so you know, take this with a grain of salt, but it is one of my favorite listens of the past few years, just because of the diversity of the tracks and the experimentation within vocal deliveries and production. And it does sound unfinished. Some of it does sound rushed, but it still feels like an experience in my ear. Like it's not. I don't know. It's really different than anything I've heard in a while. You know, like songs like OPM Baby, songs like South Atlanta Baby. I love South Atlanta Baby. I think it's the best song on the album. I still play it a lot. Radar, K-pop, 2024, of course. Trim has one of Future's best energetic verses in a minute. I don't know, man. Either like it or you don't. If you don't like it, I do understand. It's not for everybody. Here we get to the top five, top five, top five, top five, top five. My number five got Navy Blue with The Sword and the Soaring. That was a very, very beautiful album. I never listened to Navy Blue before. I've always heard of his name. I've always, planned on listening to him, but I also knew in my heart of hearts that I wanted to react to albums. I wanted to make content. So around 2021, when I first heard him, I always just put him on the back burner. But when I finally got into this album, The Sword and the Soaring, I understood completely why y'all recommended him, knowing how much I love Earl Sweatshirt, knowing how much I love Mike. I could honestly say that album made me feel things that a lot of other albums haven't made me feel. I felt like I was happy for somebody that I just met, and if that makes sense. He took us through a lot of his mental and where he's been, and I don't know all the context of everything, because I'm someone who just got into his music, but he was able to make me feel something that I shouldn't be able to feel from someone I just started listening to. My favorite songs up there is definitely The Phoenix, 24 Gospel for sure, Love Letter. There's just so many songs with such quality. There's not a single bad song on there. It's very intentional writing. He puts a lot of care into what he's saying, and every in his vocal delivery, everything sounds so sincere from him. At number four, we got Earl Sweatshirt with Live, Laugh, Love. This is one of the best albums I've ever heard from him ever. If you know me, you know I used to listen to him a lot when I was younger, but it's a different feeling now as I get older, because it's not just words flowing through my ear now. There's actually substance behind it in my head, because I could kind of know what he mean a little bit more than I used to. And this album is the most mature I've ever heard him, but not just him. Rappers in general. I haven't heard rappers sound this mature in a while. The writing is very poignant. You could tell there's a lot of self-reflectiveness, but also a lot of accountability that has been taken. We still get some, biographical lines about how it was in his youth, and kind of contextualizing why he is the way he is. And I feel like that's a big part of loving an artist's work, is understanding what got them to that point. Songs like Exhaust is one of the best songs I've ever heard this year. At the end of the day, it's really just you and whatever you think. I'm airmailing you strength. You know what I'm saying? That's really amazing to see how far he's come. I've made so many TikToks about Earl Sweatshirt and talking about, just that concept in and of itself, of the growth within his music, depicting the growth within his mental and in his life, and the maturing. It's great, Tourmaline, feeling like a hug, you know what I'm saying? A Heavy Metal, feeling like such a liberating chant or declaration that I am done with what I used to be on. I've released it. The talks of his child on there, gave my baby my daddy last name and his likeness, taking the signs and facing the fire. It's a crazy thing to see when you're someone who is 13, 14, listening to this guy rap about the most nonsensical things sometimes, to see where he's at now, and all you could do is clap it up. So yeah, man, I'm happy for Earl, genuinely, and he's honestly been probably one of the biggest inspirations of my writing lately. So yeah, shout out to Earl. Now we're in the top three. Number three and number four, Earl, are really interchangeable though, because it really depends on the time of year for me, because I listen to Earl a lot in the winter when it's cold. But number three is Clipse, man. Let God sort them out. A lot of people are going to have this at their one probably, and I can respect that and totally understand that. I am somebody who never listened to Clipse ever before this year. I love my reaction to it. It's my biggest video still, and I appreciate everybody who, supported me within that. I think Clipse's album release gave people my age a chance to take a peek into, a different generation, but with a modern, touch to it. And it was great. Some of the best writing. I feel like Malice is the unsung hero of 2025. because he's been, I don't know if he's been in hiding or retirement or whatever you want to call it, but he hasn't been like in the loop. But when he is in his bag, like rapping wise, it's hard to miss. Some of the best punchlines, the production from Pharrell, the concept of birds don't sing. Like, oh my gosh, if you hear birds don't sing, you don't feel a little right there in your chest. What's going on? Pusha T did his thing too. Everything he says, you believe wholeheartedly. These are all things that I've said within my reaction. The thing about the album though that didn't make it my number one is just it didn't stay in my rotation. It was in there long though. It was in there for a long time, and I still revisit a lot of songs. My favorite one is still So Far Behind. I love that song. I love the outro too. FICO with Stove God, like it's a beautiful way of blending a lot of the coke rap with the spirituality that's attached to the feelings you get from it in the situations that put you in that position. And everybody that's against you, we're gonna just let God sort them out. It's a great concept, phenomenal album. What more can I say? They're really neck and neck, but my number two is Armand Hammer with Mercy. Mercy. After listening to Billy Woods for the first time, I don't know if you've seen that video where I reacted to him for the first time ever. I was like, what the hell is this? Why were people recommending this to me? This is not real. This is scary. And then slowly but surely getting indoctrinated into the way he raps. Confidently say Mercy is one of my most replayed albums of 2025, and it didn't come out early 2025 either. So it had less time to make an impact on me for that year, and it did it perfectly. I think my favorite thing about this album is the concept behind it, with it being called Mercy, and I talked about it already on the reaction, so I'm not going to say too much, but, it giving you details of lifestyles that might make you understand why certain people made the decisions that they made that may not be the most moral, may not be the most lawfully just, but there's a reason that they did it. And I feel like it asks that question of like at what point do you finally say, you know what, I give you mercy, because I can understand. Like songs like Glue Traps letting you know straight up, like songs like Moonbow or Super Nintendo, they're saying things like real money is whatever's in your pockets when you broke, 'cause for that last $12.99 you don't even want to know. Like it's easy now to talk about what's wrong and right. We were just living. We were just living with the decisions that were being made before we were even here. So we got to do what we got to do to survive the place that we're at. I really think that's some of the best rapping I've heard. Great production from the Alchemist. It puts you in this trance where you're like locked into like the most obscure flows that you ever heard in your life. If you never listened to Armand Hammer like me. Super enjoyable vocal deliveries from Elucid. It's weird, it's really different, it's jarring, but it's kind of the voice you need to deliver such raw concepts like the ones on Mercy. It kind of works perfectly. So yeah, I fuck with Mercy heavily. I didn't expect myself to. Like, Mercy is just amazing. Thank you all so much for recommending that one to me, like seriously. And that brings me to my album of the year. My favorite album of this year. Shouldn't be of any surprise. Showbiz by Mike. Yeah, man. Showbiz by Mike. Mike is an interesting act because he's very understated, but also puts a lot in those understated things. Like, he's so good at that. When I was reacting to Showbiz, I think I was heavily invested in trying to get the concept of it because I felt like it was super intentional to call it Showbiz. The cover art, the song names and what he was doing with the lyrics, like I really was so locked in on trying to understand that concept. And I think that's what really edged it out over the other ones, is just the music sounding so good to me, but also there being a reason for everything. Like, it's not really based on technicality when it comes to this album for me. It's really based on the feeling that it evokes. Like, I still feel like a strong punch in the gut when the beat drops on Strange Feeling. When that sample chop, loops on Strange Feeling, I still feel that in my gut. I still feel the heartache when I hear Diamond Dancing Broke. I can still feel like the exhaustion and the feeling of being lost on the song like Wait 2K20. The poignant lines like Mother in the Air, I just asked for my stewardess. It's like, oh. And the concept that was hitting for me was like, coping with the woes of being involved in the industry and in showbiz. You know, like the show must go on, kind of, even though you're dealing with the grievances of other things in your personal life, kind of like, you know, the loss of your mother, or not being able to trust the people that have been around you for so long, or, you know, having disagreements with people that you've grown accustomed to. And he does a good job at giving you these gut punches with just the most littlest minute details, whether that be a sample chop, whether that be a line, whether that be a breath, a sigh, or something like just a elongated stretch of the same line over and over again at the outro, but with the backdrop feeling like you're in like a spacey, almost otherworldly environment. It kind of feels like you're either ascending or descending, or both at the same time. It's weird. It's a trance, but that's why I love the album so much. It's not really because of the technical things within it. It's not because of the word plays or whatever. It's really just because of the feeling and the emotion that it gives me. Every time I go back to it, I realize that nothing else is punching me the way that album punches me. Showbiz My Mic. That's my album of the year, man. Guys, nothing too crazy. I just wanted to tell y'all my favorite albums of the year and why I like them. I want to know y'all favorites. Let me know in the comments below. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, all that other stuff. This past year was really, really good for music, for rap especially. Don't let nobody trick you into saying that rap is dead. Like, we don't got good rappers and that there's not good music being made. There's a lot of good music being made. I appreciate y'all so much for the recommendations, for always, you know, giving me support and love. And I'm going to always make sure to give y'all support and love back. I'm going to catch you on the next one. Everything all platforms. Thank you so much. Have a blessed one. Be safe. Drink water. And I'm out. Peace.